Yemen. Timeless, otherworldly. A land where 500-year-old skyscrapers rise from the desert, built by hands that knew how to turn earth into art. Imagine wandering through ancient mud brick towns or hiking across the Dixon Plateau, where dragon's blood trees tower over deep canyons. Then climb ARA Beach's soaring dunes to watch turquoise waves crash below and spot playful dolphins near Shaab's pristine shores. Join me and I'll show you the real Yemen, a place with hidden wonders that are way more fascinating than any postcard could capture. Despite our efforts to gather more videos, the ongoing conflicts in the region have made this a challenge, but more on that later. Shaab is a unique city built entirely of mud brick buildings that rise like towers. These structures are among the earliest examples of vertical urban planning. People call it the Manhattan of the desert because of how the buildings are packed closely together and rise high. However, unlike modern skyscrapers, the buildings here rely on mud, straw, and wood to stand tall. People might wonder why such tall buildings were built in a desert area. The answer lies in the limited space surrounded by farmland and the need to protect families from attacks. By building upward instead of outward, Shaab's residents solved two problems at once. Jazil is a striking village built on a tall rock outcrop. One of the most interesting facts about this place is the story of its water management. Despite being in a dry region, the villagers developed clever ways to store and channel water. They used cisterns carved into the rock to collect rainwater, ensuring they had enough to survive during dry spells. This was crucial because there are no nearby rivers or streams. Jabal Sabia, a mountain rising steeply from its surroundings, is known for its fertile land and long history of human settlement. Its slopes are covered with terraced fields, where locals have grown crops for centuries. These terraces have existed for over 2,000 years, built by hand using local stones, and they remain functional to this day. The primary crops grown include coffee, cat, wheat, and barley. Jabal Sabia is also home to unique wildlife. It is a habitat for Arabian leopards, although sightings are rare due to their endangered status. AlHajar is an ancient mountain village built entirely on a steep, rocky cliff, making it look like it is part of the mountain itself. One of the most striking features of these houses is their multi-storey design. Each level serves a specific purpose, making efficient use of the limited space on the steep slopes. The lower levels often house livestock or storage areas for grain and water, while the upper floors serve as living quarters. This design helps protect the main living spaces from the damp and cold coming from the ground. Taiz is a city that clings to the slopes of Jabal Sabia, with its streets winding upward and its history deeply tied to resilience and creativity. One of the most intriguing sites in Taiz is the AlHajar Citadel. The architecture of the citadel reflects its functional design. Thick stone walls, watchtowers, and battlements made it a formidable defence structure. Inside there were water reservoirs, food storage areas, and living quarters to sustain the occupants during long periods of conflict. Archaeological evidence indicates that the citadel was also a centre for administrative control. Marib is an ancient city that once stood as the capital of a powerful kingdom known for its advanced irrigation systems and trade networks. It became famous thousands of years ago for the Marib Dam, one of the most advanced engineering projects of its time. This dam supplied water to nearby fields and made agriculture possible in a region surrounded by arid desert. Marib was also a key hub for the trade of valuable frankincense and myrrh, with caravans passing through on their way to distant markets and major trade centres. Almt is a mountain town located at an altitude of about 2,100 metres. Its history is deeply tied to ancient civilizations, with archaeological surveys revealing over 700 sites, including rock tombs and mummies dating back thousands of years. These discoveries show that the region practiced mummification techniques comparable to those of ancient Egypt, possibly even earlier than the 3rd century BCE. This earned Almt the nickname Tombs of Kings. AlHajar Rin is considered one of the most picturesque villages in Wadi Don due to its dramatic setting and well-preserved architecture. The village clings to a steep hill, creating a striking visual contrast with the flat, arid landscape surrounding it. Its mud brick homes are tightly packed, forming a layered effect that makes the village look almost like a natural extension of the hill itself. Unlike many places that faded after the decline of the incense trade, AlHajar Rin managed to survive by relying on agriculture and its ingenious irrigation system. Jabal Bua is a unique mountain surrounded by thick forests that create one of the rarest ecosystems in the region. The area is famous for its terraced farms that seem to cling to the mountainsides, and these terraces, carved by hand over generations, are used to grow coffee, cat, and various grains. This place is also home to Hamadryas baboons, social primates that live in groups and are often seen foraging on the mountain slopes. These baboons are known for their strict social structures, with dominant males leading harems of females. They are highly adaptable, feeding on fruits, leaves and roots. Sanaa is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world, with a history that goes back over 2,500 years, and people believe it was founded by Shem, a son of Noah. The city is famous for its unique architecture. The buildings are made of mud bricks and decorated with intricate white patterns, which make them look like gingerbread houses. A special part of Sanaa's culture is its food, and malawak is one of the standout dishes. This flaky, layered bread has a golden, crispy texture and is often served with honey, a tomato dip, or boiled eggs. The Al Saleh Mosque is one of Sanaa's most iconic landmarks. Completed in 2008, it stands as a great example of modern Islamic architecture, while incorporating traditional Yemeni design elements. The mosque's walls are built using locally sourced black and white stones, reflecting Yemen's historical use of natural materials. Inside, the ceilings are adorned with hand-carved wooden panels, and the floors are covered with over 6,000 square meters of carpets made specifically for the mosque. Dar AlHajar Palace. This fortified palace, built in the 1930s, served as the summer retreat of Imam Yahya, the ruler who led his country to independence. The spacious, multi-storey complex included reception halls, bathing pools, and hanging gardens irrigated by an advanced aqueduct system that drew from a well 60 metres deep. Today, thanks to painstaking restoration efforts, Dar AlHajar is more than a historical curiosity. It's a living museum and cultural centre. So Cotra Island is one of the most unusual places on Earth, home to unique plants and animals found nowhere else. Scientists estimate that about 1/3 of the island's plant species exist only there, making it a treasure for studying life. Unlike most islands, however, Socotra harbours species that have remained unchanged for millions of years, earning it the nickname the Galapagos of the Indian Ocean. ARA Beach on Cotra Island offers an unusual mix of desert and ocean in one place. Unlike most beaches, ARA is surrounded by giant sand dunes that rise dramatically right next to the sea. What's particularly interesting about ARA Beach is the freshwater spring that flows right next to the sand dunes. This freshwater comes from underground sources and creates small pools where plants can grow in the middle of an otherwise dry area. ARA Beach has another fascinating feature: its connection to Deta Lagoon, a nearby natural area that reveals Socotra's unique coastal ecosystems. Unlike typical lagoons, it is shaped by unique tidal patterns that create shifting sandbars and shallow pools. These features provide a safe haven for many marine species, including stingrays, small sharks, and rare fish. The lagoon's calm, shallow waters also make it an important resting and feeding area for migratory birds, some of which travel thousands of kilometres to reach it. The sand here is so fine and powdery that it squeaks beneath your feet as you walk, creating an almost surreal experience. The Haiha Mountains are the highest point on Socotra, with the tallest peak reaching an impressive elevation of 1,503 metres. One of the most striking features of the Haiha Mountains is their unique geological composition. The mountains are primarily made up of granite, a hard, igneous rock that formed deep beneath the Earth's surface millions of years ago. Over time, the granite was pushed upward and exposed by the forces of erosion, creating the steep cliffs, deep canyons, and jagged peaks that characterize the range today. The mountain's high elevation and unique climate patterns create the perfect conditions for the formation of seasonal waterfalls, which cascade down the steep granite cliffs during the rainy season. One of the most spectacular of these waterfalls is Dibarak. Unlike many waterfalls that rely on rivers, Dibarak is fed by underground springs and seasonal rains collected in the surrounding highlands. These waters cascade down rocky cliffs, creating a rare oasis in an otherwise dry and arid environment. Callison Canyon is one of the most dramatic geological features on Cotra Island. Unlike flat desert areas on the island, the canyon is a deep and winding natural formation, shaped by seasonal rains and the flow of underground water. One of the most striking features of Callison Canyon is its winding, serpentine shape. As water flows through the canyon, it tends to follow the path of least resistance, seeking out weaknesses in the bedrock and exploiting them to carve even deeper channels. The rocky slopes are steep, and the narrow paths twist sharply, making the journey tricky and demanding. For those who take on the challenge, the experience is well worth it. The canyon offers sights and moments that leave a lasting impression. Diksam Plateau is one of the most unique areas on Cotra Island, known for its flat, open landscape, surrounded by dramatic cliffs. The plateau provides fertile ground that supports a wide variety of plant life. One of the most iconic and emblematic species found on the Diksam Plateau is the dragon blood tree. This unusual tree, with its thick bulbous trunk and spiky, umbrella-shaped canopy, is found only on Socotra and is a true icon of the island's endemic flora. The tree gets its name from its dark red sap, which has been prized for centuries for its medicinal properties and use as a natural dye. But to truly appreciate the diversity and wonder of Socotra's plant life, one must also explore the lush and verdant realm of the Firmin forest. The Firmin forest is one of the last remaining dense groves of dragon blood trees on Cotra Island. The forest offers a rare opportunity to see them growing closely together, forming a natural canopy. Their umbrella-shaped crowns are not just for appearance, They are vital for survival. These canopies capture moisture from the air, which drips down to the roots and enriches the dry soil. This process allows the trees to thrive in conditions where many other plants would struggle. The forest floor benefits too, as the moisture supports smaller plants and creates a habitat for insects and reptiles found nowhere else on Earth. The Zahk sand dunes on Cotra Island are a dynamic natural feature shaped by strong seasonal winds. These winds constantly shift the sand, forming unique patterns such as ripples and ridges. The dunes are composed of fine grains eroded from nearby limestone formations, providing insight into the island's geological history. Traces of ancient marine fossils have been found within the sand, indicating that this area was once submerged under the sea. The Zahk sand dunes are situated in close proximity to Socotra's coastal Shaab Beach. Often referred to as the Galapagos of the Indian Ocean for its incredible biodiversity and unique landscapes. This pristine white sandy beach stretches for several kilometres along the island's southern coast, offering a breathtaking panorama of turquoise waters, rugged cliffs, and lush green vegetation. Shaab Beach is also well known for its active dolphin population, making it one of the most fascinating spots on Cotra Island for observing marine life. The clear waters near the beach are frequented by several species of dolphins, including the bottlenose and spinner dolphins. These intelligent and social creatures are often seen swimming in pods, playing in the waves, or leaping out of the water in graceful arcs. The ongoing unrest has left its mark on the land, leaving deep scars that may never fade. Access to many of its magnificent places has become extremely difficult. Historic sites, sacred to the people, are at risk of being lost forever. With every passing day, its people fight to preserve the treasures that define their identity. In the midst of chaos, all these wonders are patiently waiting for a future where peace can restore their rightful place in the world. Be kind, be safe, and remain connected to the immortal wonders that Yemen has to offer. Now, if you don't want to miss the greatest wonders of Guatemala, check out this video.